Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hey, and welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce, the podcast where we navigate the twists and turns of life's most challenging transitions, and this one today being divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor, certified divorce financial analyst professional, and today we're going to look into a topic that many parents going through a divorce may find familiar and difficult. Addressing negative comments or behaviors from our children relating to the divorce. Now, I don't have to tell you that divorce is a complex and emotional process for everyone involved, especially children. It's not uncommon for kids to express their feelings through negative comments or behaviors. So, how can we as parents address and navigate this aspect of the divorce process? Well, it's critical to create a safe and open space for your children to express themselves. Understand that their negative comments or behaviors may be a manifestation of confusion, fear, or a need for attention. By fostering an environment where they feel heard, you're laying the foundation for healthy communication. Start by initiating conversations with your children about their feelings. Encourage them to express what's on their minds and listen without judgment. Reassure them that their emotions are valid and that you're there to support them through this challenging time. It's important to keep in mind that children may not have the vocabulary to articulate their emotions fully. Instead, they may act out or make negative comments as a way to cope. Be patient. Try to decode the underlying emotions behind the words or actions. As a parent, it's critical to maintain a united front with your ex-spouse when it comes to addressing negative behaviors. Consistency in rules and expectations can provide stability for your children during a time of significant change. If you notice a pattern of concerning behavior, consider involving a professional. Child psychologists or counselors can be valuable allies in helping your children navigate their emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Another strategy is to promote positive outlets for your children. Encourage them to engage in activities they enjoy, whether it's sports, art, or spending time with friends. These activities can serve as a healthy distraction and contribute to their overall well-being. Remember, the key is not to take your child's negative comments or behaviors personally. It's not a reflection of your parenting or the divorce process, but rather an expression of their own emotional journey. By approaching the situation with empathy and understanding, you're better equipped to guide them through this challenging time. Wrapping up, addressing negative comments or behaviors from your children during a divorce requires a delicate balance of communication, empathy, and consistency. By creating a safe space, encouraging open dialogue, and seeking professional support when needed, you can help your children navigate the emotional complexities of a divorce. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I hope this discussion provides some insight into addressing challenging moments with your children during divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to contact me using the information in the description. I'm always happy to help. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, all the best. Hello, and welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce, the podcast where we explore the ins and outs of navigating through life's most challenging transitions. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're going to get into a topic that hits close to home for many of our listeners, the often tumultuous journey through divorce. Specifically, we'll be shedding light on the roles of two key players in the process, the mediator and the attorney. Now, first, let's tackle the big question. What's the difference between a mediator and an attorney when it comes to divorce? A divorce attorney, as you might already know, is a legal professional who specializes in family law. Their primary role is to advocate for their clients' interests, providing legal advice and representing them in court if necessary. Think of them as the generals in the legal battle, fighting for your rights and assets. On the other hand, a mediator is more like a diplomatic envoy. Their role is to facilitate communication between the divorcing parties and help them reach a mutually acceptable agreement. Picture a mediator as a guide, steering you through the negotiation process without taking sides. Now let's break it down further. What are the advantages of choosing a mediator over a lawyer, or vice versa? Choosing a mediator can often be a more amicable and cost-effective route. Mediation promotes open communication and collaboration, empowering both parties to find common ground. It's a process where you're encouraged to actively participate in shaping the outcome of your divorce, rather than leaving the decision solely in the hands of attorneys and judges. But, and this is a critical point, mediation may not be suitable for everyone. If there's a significant power imbalance, a history of abuse, or complex financial issues, an attorney might be necessary. Attorneys are trained to navigate the legal intricacies of divorce, ensuring your rights are protected and that the final agreement is fair and just. So, when do you know which path to take? It often comes down to the nature of your relationship with your soon-to-be ex and the complexity of your divorce. If there's still some level of trust and willingness to work together, mediation might be the way to go. However, if emotions are high, communication is strained, or the situation is legally intricate, seeking the counsel of an attorney may provide the guidance and protection you need. In the end, it's about understanding your own needs and finding the approach that aligns with your goals for the divorce process. Whether you choose a mediator or a lawyer, remember that you're not alone in this journey, and there are professionals ready to assist you. That's it for this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I hope the discussion on the difference between mediators and attorneys in the divorce process has shed some light on this often challenging decision. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to contact me using the contact information in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, have a good day. Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce, the podcast that guides you through the labyrinth of life's most complex transitions, divorce being one of them. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we're untangling a web that many might not consider when going through a divorce: the impact on your credit. Divorce is more than just an emotional roller coaster. It's a legal and financial journey that can have lasting effects on various aspects of your life, including your credit score. So let's dive into the question, how does a divorce affect my credit? First, let's understand that your credit score is a reflection of your financial responsibility. During a divorce, your financial ties with your ex-spouse may be intertwined, especially if you share joint accounts or loans. One significant factor is joint accounts. If you and your spouse have joint credit cards or loans, you're both responsible for the debt, regardless of the divorce. Late payments or defaulting on these accounts can impact both of your credit scores. So, what can you do to mitigate this risk? The key is communication. Establish open and honest dialogue with your ex-spouse about the financial responsibilities each of you will assume. If possible, consider closing joint accounts and transferring balances to individual accounts. But it's not just about the credit cards and loans. The mortgage is often one of the most substantial financial ties in a marriage. If you and your ex-spouse co-own a home and have joint mortgage. Deciding who will keep the house can be a complex process. If one party is keeping the house, they may need to refinance the mortgage in their name alone. Failure to do so could lead to missed payments, affecting both credit scores. Again, communication and legal guidance are critical to navigate this process successfully. Now, let's talk about the emotional toll that financial disagreements can take on a divorce. Stress and emotional turmoil can sometimes lead to financial neglect. It's essential to stay on top of your bills and financial obligations, as missed payments can have swift and negative impact on your credit. As you navigate through the divorce process, keep a vigilant eye on your credit report. Monitor it regularly for any discrepancies or accounts that shouldn't be there. Identity theft and fraud can sometimes arise during divorces, so being proactive can save you from potential headaches down the road. In conclusion, a divorce doesn't just mark the end of a chapter emotionally. It has a ripple effect on your financial well-being and subsequently your credit. Open communication, strategic financial planning, and a proactive approach are your allies in protecting your credit score during this challenging time. That wraps up this episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and there are resources available to help you navigate the twists and turns. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to contact me. My information's in the description. Happy to help. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Take care. Hi, and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce, the podcast that accompanies you on the challenging journey of life's major transition. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we're going to get into a critical aspect of the divorce process: serving divorce papers. Now, serving divorce papers is a legal step that sets the divorce proceedings into motion. It's an important part of the process, but it can also be one of the more delicate and emotionally charged tasks. So let's break down the question: how do I serve divorce papers? First, it's important to note that the process of serving divorce papers varies by jurisdiction. Different states or countries may have specific rules and regulations. So it's vital to familiarize yourself with the requirements in your area. In general, serving divorce papers involves delivering the legal documents to your spouse, notifying them that you filed for divorce. This officially informs them of the legal proceedings and gives them an opportunity to respond. There are several methods for serving divorce papers, and the most common one is using a professional process server. These are individuals trained to deliver legal documents in accordance with the law. They ensure that the papers reach the intended recipient in a timely and lawful manner. Another method is having a friend or family member who is not involved in the case personally hand the papers to your spouse. However, keep in mind that not all jurisdictions allow personal service, so be sure to check your local laws. If your spouse is willing, they can also acknowledge receipt of the papers in writing, simplifying the process. This is often referred to as acceptance of service. It's a more amicable approach, but it requires both parties to be cooperative. Now, what if your spouse is avoiding being served or is difficult to locate? In such cases, the court may permit alternative methods, such as service by publication in a local newspaper. This is typically a last resort when traditional methods fail. Remember, serving papers is not about creating conflict, but about adhering to legal procedures. It's a formal step that initiates the legal process and provides your spouse with the opportunity to respond. As you navigate this step, it's crucial to prioritize empathy and communication. Divorce is already a challenging time, as we know, and how you handle this process can set the tone for the remainder of the proceedings. Keep the lines of communication open and consider seeking professional advice to ensure that you're following the correct procedures in your jurisdiction. That wraps up this episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I hope this discussion on serving divorce papers shed light on a crucial aspect of the divorce process. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, please contact me. My information's in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. All the best. Hello, and welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce, the podcast that accompanies you through the challenging journey of one of life's major transitions, divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we are going to tackle a question that resonates with many individuals navigating divorce, especially those who are stay-at-home parents. Can I get spousal maintenance? Spousal maintenance, also known as alimony or spousal support, is a financial arrangement where one spouse provides financial support to the other spouse after a divorce. Now, for stay-at-home parents, this can be a critical consideration during the divorce process. The idea of spousal maintenance recognizes the financial contributions made by a spouse who stayed at home to take care of the family and household. It aims to address the economic disparity that may arise when one partner has been financially dependent on the other. So, can you get spousal maintenance if you're a stay-at-home parent? The answer often depends on various factors, including the laws in your jurisdiction and specific circumstances of your marriage. One key factor that the courts typically consider is the length of the marriage. In many cases, longer marriages may increase the likelihood of spousal maintenance being awarded. This is because the financial interdependence between spouses is often more significant in long-term marriages. The court will also consider the financial needs of the spouse seeking maintenance and the ability of the other spouse to pay. If you've been a stay-at-home parent and lack financial means to support yourself post-divorce, spousal maintenance may become an important aspect of the settlement. It is also important to note that spousal maintenance is not guaranteed and varies from case to case. Courts will also assess the contributions each spouse made to the marriage, including homemaking, childcare, and support for the other spouse's career. Now let's talk about the duration of spousal maintenance. In some cases, it might be temporary, providing support until the recipient can become financially self-sufficient. In other cases, especially in long-term marriages or situations where one spouse has health issues, it could be more permanent. Negotiating spousal maintenance can be a complex process. It often involves legal professionals who can help advocate for your rights and ensure that the agreement is fair and equitable. If you were a stay-at-home parent and are considering seeking spousal maintenance, it is crucial to gather documentation that illustrates your contribution to the marriage. This may include evidence of your role in childcare, homemaking, and any sacrifices made to support your spouse's career. Wrapping up, spousal maintenance for stay-at-home parents is a nuanced aspect of divorce proceedings. It depends on various factors, and the outcome can vary. If you find yourself in this situation, seeking legal advice and understanding your rights is essential to navigating this aspect of the divorce process. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I hope this discussion shed some light on the considerations for spousal maintenance, especially for stay-at-home parents. Should you have any questions on today's topic or other financial planning issues, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. I'll help any way I can. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, all the best.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce with Mike Fulkerson. For questions, please reach out to Mike via email in the description or give him a shout at 630-444-1410. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow.